Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar, SOC, Proactive Cybersecurity. We are glad to host you for the next hour, where SHELT will present SOC as a core element of enterprise proactive cybersecurity strategy.
We're a cybersecurity as a service company established in Europe, but we have a large footprint in the African continent, actually. We have offices in Nigeria, in Kenya, in Algeria, in different places, also in countries, since through our shareholder structure, one of them is a large telco operator, Telecel. We have also satellite offices in different other countries. So as the subject of this webinar, and what we exactly do is a security operations center as a managed service, where around it we build a lot of expertise and offerings in cybersecurity. So SHELT is a cybersecurity company. This is all what we do. And we try to, as much as possible, to mature our clients through effective service offering. As I mentioned, we have Telecel as a shareholder partner. We also do partners with our sister company, Potek Consulting, who is doing a lot of enablement of different technologies as well for SHELT, that you will see some of them during this presentation. So let's say we had like cases for a large European bank where we help build a full capability when it comes to addressing these cyber threats proactively by enabling the technology, by enabling different processes internally, by increasing the capability of detecting these threats and responding to them. So the added value was a continuous monitoring of the environment, proactively monitoring and trying to threat hunt threats, do threat hunting instead of waiting for the threat to impact or to hit the environment, and not knowing the degree of the outburst of this threat. So we also implemented a full checklist to review and evaluate changes prior committing to them or prior deploying them in live environment. So eventually we developed what we call operational playbooks that we will go through in this. Similarly, we had another case with a large African mobile operator, Pan-African, where we built a full operation for a proactive detection of threats, along with a lot of cybersecurity advisory services, since he had a basic capability in cybersecurity and he wanted to increase his maturity. So we had the challenge and the privilege to offer a full type of solution addressing different components that we will detail a little bit in this presentation. So basically, the idea is to shift an enterprise mindset from a reactive cybersecurity standpoint to a proactive one. Reactive, I'm sure all of you as attendees in your organization have antiviruses deployed, have firewalls, have some kind of filtering mechanisms, etc. But these are reactive components, which means you wait until you get hit, and then you see if the controls applied onto these elements in the network, in the cybersecurity stack, stand in front of this attack. So this is like being reactive, building a wall and checking if it is really can endure forces from the outside. However, shifting your mindset to a proactive approach will give you more information about threats before even impacting your environment. I'm not saying that the reactive components are not necessary. On the contrary, you have to build your cybersecurity stack using all these elements, but they have to work in congruence in order to provide some kind of visibility for a proactive detection of threat. And this is how you ask your question: how can I build my security operations center readiness to address proactively these kind of incidents? So at SHELT, we can help you throughout a very defined methodology by understanding further challenges and responding to the needs. So our solution is not, out of the box, though it has out of the box elements, but we address specific challenges, mainly when it comes to different type of threats, that might impact your brand and reputation and incur your financial losses. And secondly, because we understand that there is a shortage of skill set, and technology platforms alone will not solve the problem. And even the increased capex required in technology investment in the cybersecurity stack also is heavy on some of the organizations. So concerning these challenges, we can address it really proactively by building a special program for you. We've had a lot, there is no proactive security operations center that is similar to others. So this is, the expected benefit is to help address this threat landscape, having a centralized detection of threat indicators, improved confirmation of events, operational playbooks, remediation, and an intuitive dashboards for you as a CISO, as an executive, to visualize where you stand and what is the capability and level. The SOC also proactively needs to be built around the people, process, and technology part. A lot of components on the technology, we will go through them. The people need to be trained and highly skilled, of course, and multi-level, they need to be multi-level. The processes are very important to be able to, you know, give you the ability to respond effectively to a specific incident or a threat. There is a life cycle also. Very importantly is to build effectively a security operations center throughout this life cycle, where you start by definition of specific elements for logging purposes, you define the use cases, doing active correlation and analysis on top. So analytics and correlation are very important, but most importantly is to have the right use cases accordingly. Governance, which is the processes, to have this situational awareness and reach this situational awareness. And this is an iterative process and life cycle. So it goes out indefinitely because this is how you mature yourself. From a people perspective, you have to have, or we have also as well, 3 levels of people coming from the level 1 to level 3. Level 1 has specific tasks, level 2 has specific tasks to do, and level 3 has specific tasks, each according to his rank and skill set. From a process perspective, defining the playbooks, creating, modifying, and defining the policies and procedures according to different standards, of course, defining the escalation matrix are very important to build proactively a cybersecurity defensive system. From a technology perspective, we have what we call the known knowns identification, which can be done through asset discovery and vulnerability assessment. It's a very important part of a SOC. SIEM is the foundation of a proactive security operations center. So a SIEM is where you correlate and analyze all these events. Network and host intrusion detection systems that has pre-built use cases specifically to detect certain type of attacks and correlated with the SIEM and other network components and systems, mainly also application, is very important. Behavioral monitoring and threat intelligence to understand and depict what's going out there. So this is very important also to have it and include it, because different techniques and attacks that are updated need to be proactively input and automated onto the SIEM. That's why also we are using a MISP platform, which is a threat sharing platform used by the NATO, and it can be embedded into the SIEM to give you more augmentation of to augment the security data. Cyber threat intelligence to monitor internet and surface web, let's say, and dark web threats, which is very important. We have a tool by our sister company developed, which is a very interesting software as a service, but we also provide it as a SaaS model, which is able to increase brand reputation and identify threats on the surface web and dark web. And it has a lot of automated components, so it's scavenging the internet, looking out for you as a company, specifically for you on different threats. Honeypot systems to be able to mimic and lure and deceive attackers are also some kind of proactive components to place in your environment to enable this proactivity. So this is how a SOC from a SHELT perspective looks like. You have all the components on your premises. All the components I talked about and more can be displaced in your premise and having a support team being able to do all the activities from alert and incident management, intelligence, monitoring, and response is offered by SHELT. So this is like integrating with you. Sometimes also we are supporting internal capabilities for monitoring at the client premise. So there is different way to build the program, but most importantly is this integration between different threat sources, between our understanding and capabilities, and the software and technology deployments within customer premises.